Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. This is our final capstone presentation for the Cybersecurity Risk Audit and Presentation Testing project we completed for Take Care. Our team worked with Take Care over the last several weeks to look closely at the security of their SaaS platform. We focus on two main areas. First, we carry out a security audit to review policies, configurations, and controls. Second, we ran a targeted penetration test to identify weaknesses that an attacker could exploit. This project was not just a technical exercise. We also looked at the company's compliance requirements and how the results could be turned into clear, actionable steps for both developers and executives. The final goal was to deliver a plan that improves their security posture, reduces risk, and helps them meet strict privacy laws in Canada and the United States. I'm James Perry, and my teammates are Priscilla, Todd, and Caitlin. Each of us played a role in the research, testing, and reporting stages, and we'll be walking you through our findings and recommendations today. Let's go over the scope of what we set out to do, the key deliverables we agreed to produce, and how the project was supported. Project scope. The scope was intentionally comprehensive. We began with a detailed security audit, which included reviewing Take Care's system configurations, access controls, and supporting security policies. We conducted penetration testing on targeted portions of their environment, using OWASP standards as our baseline for identifying and validating vulnerabilities. Along this, we performed a risk assessment that factored in the likelihood and potential impact of each issue we found. The result of all this was a targeted mitigation plan, not just a list of problems, but a structured set of recommendations in priority order so the company knows exactly where to start. Key deliverables. We produced several deliverables. First was the full security audit report, which documents our findings in detail. Second was the risk prioritization report, which organizes those findings from most to least critical. Third was the targeted mitigation plan, which maps each recommendation to a specific risk and provides a path of remediation. Fourth, we conducted penetration testing with a narrow but focused scope, which allowed us to validate our assumptions without disrupting operations. Finally, we created a set of briefings, one for the technical team and one for the company leadership, so that both audiences could understand the findings in terms that made sense to them. Budget. One notable point about this project is that budget was not a limiting factor. The work was sponsored externally, which meant our recommendations could be based entirely on what was best from a security standpoint, without having to scale down or choose good enough solutions due to cost. This is rare in the real world. So we took advantage of it by recommending fixes and controls that would genuinely improve the company's security posture without compromise. Before we dive into the details of our findings and recommendations, it's important to understand what Take Care does and why securing their platform is so critical. Take Care is a Canadian SaaS company that helps individuals and families prepare for and manage three main types of situations. Medical emergency planning. The platform gives users tools to prepare for sudden death crises. This can include securely storing medical history, care instructions, and emergency contacts so that if something happens, the right information is available to the right people without delay. Caregiving support. Many families share caregiving responsibilities between multiple people. Take Care's tools help coordinate these responsibilities and manage the handoff process when one caregiver transitions responsibilities to another. This reduces confusion and ensures continuity of care. Life transition management. Life transitions, whether planned or unexpected, often require legal and logistical preparation. The platform supports users through these changes by helping them organize important documents, outline instructions, and make sure the wishes are clearly recorded. From a security perspective, all three of these service areas involve handling highly sensitive personal and medical data. If that data were compromised, whether through a breach, accidental disclosure, or tampering, the consequences could be severe for both the individuals affected and the company's reputation. That is why our work focused on making sure their systems, processes, and policies are set up to protect this information as the company continues to grow.
Take Care's platform handles highly sensitive personal and health-related information. Despite its important mission, our assessment revealed some significant gaps in its cybersecurity framework. First, there's an absence of structured and recurring security assessments. things like regular penetration testing, robust logging, and fully integrated secure software development practices. Without these, vulnerabilities can go undetected for long periods. Additionally, endpoint security controls and monitoring are not as comprehensive as they need to be for a platform handling medical planning data. This raises both privacy and operational risks. There's also the regulatory side. Take Care must comply with the Personal Health Information Protection Act, the Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, and the Consumer Privacy Protection Act. Any gaps in controls, whether in data protection, access management, or privacy processes, can result in serious legal consequences, reputational damage, and a loss of user trust. Our project was designed to address these gaps, strengthen the platform's defenses, and align its practices with industry and legal requirements. Our overarching goal was to proactively identify and mitigate security vulnerabilities in Take Care's platform while ensuring compliance with industry standards, particularly the OWASP Top 10. We set clear objectives to identify and document all significant vulnerabilities in the platform, provide a clear, prioritized risk report so leadership can focus on the highest impact issues first, deliver practical and actionable mitigation strategies, present our findings professionally to both teams, and ensure our testing and recommendations cause minimal disruption to daily operations. Achieving these objectives meant combining automated vulnerability scanning, manual testing for issues like privilege escalation and access control, and mapping each finding to regulatory and business risk. This way, the organization gets a list of issues and a roadmap for fixing them. It's important to note that Take Care already has several foundational security measures in place. First, password policies are enforced through both client-side validation and AWS Cognito, ensuring a baseline for credential strength. Second, multi-factor authentication is implemented using authenticator apps, SMS codes, and secure challenge handling functions. Third, token security is maintained through server-side validation for every request and secure cookie storage through AWS Amplify. Lastly, they've implemented attack protections against common threats like CSRF, session hijacking, brute force attempts, and basic authentication for certain environments. These measures provide a good starting point, but our testing showed they need to be complemented with more advanced monitoring, regular audits, and integrated secure development lifestyle practices to address emerging threats. Role-based access control is a core part of Take Care's security model, helping ensure users only see and do what's appropriate for their role. There are three main privilege roles. Planner, the primary user who creates and manages their end-of-life plans, including sensitive personal documents. Invitee, a trusted person granted access by the planner to review or contribute to these plans. And legacy manager, a special type of invitee who can switch an account into legacy mode after the planner passes away, triggering the release of stored messages and locking the account from further edits. There's also the admin role, which manages the platform's overall operations, assigning roles, monitoring activity, and ensuring compliance with policies. While these roles provide clear separation of duties, our review highlighted opportunities to strengthen permission enforcement, monitor for privilege escalation attempts, and regularly audit access logs to ensure compliance with privacy regulations.
We designed this assessment to align with industry standard penetration testing frameworks while tailoring it to the project scope and time constraints. Every step was deliberate. Our process began with enumeration and vulnerability scanning using tools such as Nmap, Nessus, Zap, Hydra, Burp Suite, password spraying with Python, and OpenBoss. This step was necessary to quickly surface the broadest set of potential weaknesses. We knew these tools would produce false positives, but the goal here was breadth, not precision. Next, we moved into targeted testing. This is where we separated noise from actual threats. We manually verified scanner findings and directly tested for high-impact vulnerabilities, SQL injection, privilege escalation, broken access controls, and token theft. This wasn't random probing. We targeted components with the highest potential business impact. For exploitation and verification, we applied controlled proof of concept and confirmed vulnerabilities to measure real-world risk. We didn't rely solely on CVSS-based scores. We factored in exploit feasibility, likelihood in the environment, and business impact. Finally, documentation and reporting was built for dual audiences, technical teams, and decision makers. We didn't just dump scan results. We provided reproducible steps, POC evidence, and prioritized recommendations. This ensures remediation efforts are both actionable and justifiable. This assessment produced 7 confirmed vulnerabilities, which we classified by likelihood and impact, not just their severity labels. In our high-risk category, we had CVE 2025-27152, which is an Axios JavaScript vulnerability. This allows traffic manipulation between client and server. This is exploitable with minimal prerequisites and directly impacts confidentiality and integrity. CVE 2021-27292, a regular expression denial of service. This input is crafted to exhaust CPU cycles, creating a denial of service condition. No authentication barrier makes this more dangerous. CVE 2022-25927, also a regular expression denial of service. It's in the same vulnerability class as the above, and the recurrence indicates a systemic rejects handling weakness. In our medium risk category, we had a CVE 2023-45857, which is an XSRF token. Weak XSRF protection. Impact is high when combined with authentication sessions, making it a strong candidate for exploit chaining. CVE 2023-38873, a clickjacking vulnerability. With missing user interface overlay protections, this allows invisible malicious actions within trusted pages. In our low-risk category, we had unauthorized session reuse, indicating gaps in token invalidation logic. And lastly, an outlier IP, not inherently malicious, but unusual enough to warrant monitoring. The reason the Axios and regular expression denial of service vulnerabilities top the list is not just because of CVSS scores. They have a low barrier to exploitation and high operational impact. Medium risks remain important because they can weaponize in chain attacks. For risk scoring, we use CVSS version 3.1, adjusted for environmental modifiers. This means that certain vulnerabilities that might be rated lower in a generic database were escalated here because of the specific application context. Our top priorities were the Axios and both regular expression denial of service vulnerabilities. These have the highest probability of exploitation and could cause service-wide outages or compromise. In this environment, downtime or data tampering would directly affect operational trust and continuity. Our second priority was the XSRF and clickjacking vulnerabilities. Individually, they may not cripple the system, but they are highly effective when chained with other vulnerabilities, especially against authenticated users. In the lower priority category, we had session reuse and the anomalous IP. These are situational risks, but still relevant for long-term mitigation because they weaken the security baseline. We prioritize based on actual exploit feasibility, not just textbook severity ratings. This prevents wasted effort on low likelihood scenarios while focusing on the threats that matter most to the system's real-world usage. Here are some additional alert types and supplementary findings. Our scans and manual review also revealed configuration and policy gaps. While most of these are quick fixes, they directly contribute to the overall attack surface. For medium risk, we had the missing content security policies. This increases cross-site scripting attack surface. Cross-domain misconfiguration, which enables unintended data sharing. And missing anti-clickjacking headers, which leaves user interface open to framing attacks. In the low-risk category, we had cookies missing HTTP only, secure same-site flags. This exposes them to theft or misuse. External JavaScript from untrusted domains also increases supply chain risk. Server version disclosure, which enables targeted vulnerability matches. missing HSTS and X content type option headers. It weakens HTTPS enforcement and MIME type protection. And lastly, Unix timestamps disclosure, useful in reconnaissance for timing attacks. These are not optional just because they are low impact in isolation. Attackers chain these weaknesses with higher severity flaws to bypass defenses. Eliminating them raises the overall cost of the attack.
After conducting penetration testing and determining the vulnerabilities that exist on their system, it is crucial that next steps are to prevent these vulnerabilities from being exploited. One way to do this is to implement a robust risk management strategy to help fight against and protect the organization's assets and reputation, as well as their users' personal sensitive information. Risk management allows organizations to minimize potential damage from cyber attacks and create a more secure environment. The risk management strategy is a 5-step process that begins with identifying risk, where potential threats are determined. Next, analyzing risks to determine their potential impact, followed by evaluating and prioritizing them to focus on higher threats first. The final steps involve implementing risk responses, such as mitigation strategies, and lastly, monitoring and reviewing to ensure risks are controlled and strategies remain effective over time. By developing the risk register, we can help the organizations develop a proactive and comprehensive security strategy that anticipates and mitigates potential threats, leading to a more resilient and secure environment. Our Capstone project offered beneficial information for Take Care's company. Conducting penetration testing and discovering vulnerabilities on their system will help them enhance their current and future data protection strategies. By strengthening their safeguards for sensitive user information, reducing the risk for data breaches, and unauthorized access to their systems. Another benefit is improving their regulatory compliance with policies and regulation requirements, reducing their overall legal and financial risk. Strengthened security also fosters great trust with users, reinforcing customer relationships and boosting their confidence in the platform's ability to protect their sensitive data. Beyond immediate benefits, the project equips Take Care with a proactive security framework that can evolve alongside emerging cyber threats in this world. This not only fortifies their digital resilience, but it also positions the companies as a security conscious leader within their industry. The future action plan submitted to Take Care is organized into immediate actions, short-term improvements, and long-term strategies. This structure enables Take Care to promptly address critical high-risk vulnerabilities while providing a clear roadmap for achieving both near-term and long-term security goals. By tracking obstacles in phased intervals, developers can manage their workload effectively, avoid overwhelments, and maintain consistent progress toward building a secure and resilient platform. This phased approach also allows for continuous monitoring and adjustment, ensuring solutions remain effective against evolving threats, and ultimately it empowers the organization to strengthen its systems methodically while sustaining operational efficiency and innovation. Our Capstone project provided hands-on experience in planning, system analysis, design implementation, communication, escalation procedures, risk management, and resource management. Through conducting cybersecurity risk assessments and penetration testing, we gained deeper insight into how structured security evaluations, when aligned with modern development cycles and regulatory requirements, can significantly strengthen an organization's resilience to cyber threats. This process not only enhanced our technical skills, but it also underscored the importance of integrating security into every step of development to protect those critical systems and data. It also taught us how proactive measures and early detection could prevent small vulnerabilities from escalating into major breaches. Ultimately, this experience reinforced the value of a well-coordinated, multidisciplinary approach to cybersecurity.